Welcome back to the Black Light Podcast. ThonLexy, your host, here with another live show. I happened to stumble across Ashley Dalton's show, and it called for a live show. And we don't react to Ashley Dalton's content often. When we have to react to Ashley, usually something really crazy has happened. It's not the most serious dating platform in the world. They're on there talking about makeup and all kinds of irrelevant nonsense. But every now and again, they stumble into a conversation of some meaning, and it brought into perspective the conversation that we always have on the channel about how the narrative about how black fathers are leaving the home, black men are deadbeat fathers, so on and so forth. It's a false narrative. Calls like this put it into perspective very well. If you guys have already saw this, it was very jarring. She started to push back when Ashley tried to hold her accountable, and it made for a great conversation. It's 40 minutes, so right around that perfect time where we can get an hour out of. So again, you guys know the rules. Hit the subscribe button as you come into the room. Hit the notification bell so you can be notified every single time we go live. To sponsor the show, everything over 20 in the Cash App qualifies for a show sponsor. Let's reach that $100 goal so we can come back here tomorrow and react to whatever Arlette does tonight. Shouts out to Arlette and all the other balloon pop dating shows. Okay, y'all go ahead and fill the room, drop those locations. I'm excited to work. Let's make it happen.
My dog died on. I beg your pardon.
Stereophonic sound for the home is recorded on two separate tracks.
Lord have mercy. We must stay focused, brothers. We must stay focused.
Now, when played back simultaneously on two separate systems, the sounds are
you ever meet somebody
to achieve
and they're so boring, you feel like they poison you?
In a monologue report.
Like Bernie, that's a big bet.
I'm here to tell you right now. We don't. Let me tell you, we don't.
You get your big fat ass on somewhere.
What's up, Eric?
I don't deal with these big sassy ass broads.
What's up, Eric? How you doing, brother? Thank you very much. Honolulu in the building. Let's get it. RM in the building. That's the greatest moderator on YouTube. Let's go. What's up, man? How y'all doing? Elaine in the building representing the UK. My boy Jacob representing Georgia. What's up, man? How they doing out there in Georgia? Jacob, let's let the AK off for Georgia. New York City in the building. Hold the women, hold the weather. New Jersey in the building. What's happening? Snowville, Georgia. How y'all doing? DJ Matrix first again. How y'all let him beat y'all here? Y'all keep letting that man beat y'all here? Shouts out to Reed Merweather. He already sponsored the show. Big dog drop the one hundo. Let the AK off. He said, I'll be damned if I miss Arlette tomorrow. Don got to break that down. Much love. Thank you guys. I appreciate all the wardrobe compliments. Worked very hard to plan this rollout. We went from beaters and snapbacks. I came onto the platform in beaters. Y'all still rock with me. Y'all deserve this. I came onto the platform rocking beaters and caps like a heathen. Look how far we've come. Bronx in the building as well. DJ Matrix says, hit that Kwaye laugh. Yeah, that's my favorite sound, I think. Now, for all the people out there who might disagree with my single mothers don't pick father theory, I want you to stay for this entire reaction. Okay? It's going to be eye-opening. Usually, women don't make this many mistakes in conversations and step on so many landmines that help you reveal that this is an extreme, but the large majority of our women are not vetting men properly. They're not vetting them long enough. And then they end up with children with men that they don't want to have children with. And then they have every excuse in the world. One of the best things about this exchange was that Ashley Dalton did not let this hyena out of a corner. The more this girl tried to evade accountability, the more irritable Ashley became, and it made for an interesting conversation. Hit the like button. Shouts out to Reed Merriweather. He's already sponsored the show. Much love to him for doing that. Don't let that hold you back from showing your own support and stopping the show through the Cash App. But he has guaranteed a second show for you guys tomorrow. Let's let the air horn off for him. We got Olivia representing VA. How you doing? Let's get to work, guys. These are very pressing matters. There are narratives out here about black men that aren't true, that black men just leave their kids behind, that black men aren't fathers. And I'm here to say nothing could be further from the truth. These women are not picking fathers. These women are not vetting the men that they date properly. And one would say, well, Thon, you're taking one extreme case and blanketing all women. Well, not so much. Just because this is an extreme, the paradigm, the mind frame, the way the woman thinks, it's very similar. If it isn't something extreme like this, women are saying that they had children with men who are violent, and now the child can't come around anymore or whatever, as if the guy didn't show any signs of hostility or that he could be that person before the child was born, which is a very dishonest perspective to take. And we're seeing this. Women are saying they're young. Oh, I was young, as if being 19 or 18 means your intellectual faculties are completely broke. You can't discern right and wrong. You are grown enough to spread your legs and bust down like a grown woman. Now all of a sudden you're confused. Let's go ahead and get into it. Let's break it down. Let's get into it. Let's get into the call. I'm going to let it play. I'm going to try not to stop too much because this is one of those calls that very much speak for themselves, don't need a lot of commentary. I'm going to add as we go. Let's go ahead and get into it. Let's spin the clip, BLP family.
We can be friends.
But Ashley, you didn't give it enough time.
I didn't, but what I'm saying
Hold on. I let you speak. Yeah, spoke in the car on the first meetup. The second meetup was breakfast, and then y'all slept together. And then you kind of was like open because he.
Whoa.
Question number 2 is how many kids you have, because I have 2. At the time I had 2. I ended up getting pregnant by him.
You got pregnant by him?
Yeah.
So you're having his 7th child.
Right. But at the time, like, and that's the whole wild story too, because we met in December. What was that? Oops. This is the first person like I met and had sex with, like, literally within 2 days. But again, it was my decision. I could have waited if I wanted to. We can be friends.
But Ashley, you didn't give it enough time.
I didn't, but what I'm saying
Hold on. I let you speak. Yeah, spoke in the car on the first meetup. The second meetup was breakfast, and then y'all slept together. And then you kind of was like open because he bought, food for your son. So
not even that. He was very attentive. Like.
Hello, Ashley. Welcome in.
That was just the intro. The call starting right here.
Let me try to cut on my camera. Yeah.
Hello, Ashley. Welcome in.
Hey, I kind of joined the live a little late. Are we like you giving advice or topic?
Yes.
Like relationship
man, that smoke detector.
Or...
Yes, absolutely. What's your question?
I can't talk. I know mine was going off a few months ago.
I don't think I necessarily like have a question. I tend to like, I guess, I mean, how do you know, like, when a person is being, like, genuine or, like, how do you...
Hold on one second, Ashley. Do you consent to be on a live and potentially all platforms?
Yes.
Okay. How do you know if a person is genuine?
Or like, okay, so for example, like growing up, my mom never really taught.
We can't hear you. We can't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Mm-hmm.
I said growing up, my mom never really taught me how to date properly, and my dad wasn't in the picture. So I feel like when you're entering like that relationship or dating stage, how do you know like what to look for? Because a lot of people say, oh, you attract who you are or some of the sort. Because I had like some incidents where I had a whole guy like lie about their name, age, and it's just like, how do you navigate that? Like if I'm asking you your name, like if you ask me my name, it's like I wouldn't think you're lying about your name. Like, so it's like, how do you, I guess, vet the
Yeah, I would say give it time, and I would also want access to
Brendan just stopped the show with a 10. Much love to him. He says, Michael Jackson bleached
their
mama.
social media account if they do have one. Someone said ask
Much
for the
love,
ID,
thank you.
but people are not going to just give you
see
their
that's
ID.
they're not,
Yeah,
and
they're not going to do that. They're
how I
not going to
found
do that.
out is because like when I get suspicious, I like put on my investigator hat. But how I found out is like, cause he lied about his name, age, everything, like how many kids he had. He told me he had one on Instagram, but he had 6. So it's just like he was only claiming one because he said that's the only one that he wanted. Like he told everybody else to get an abortion and they didn't. Oh well, that's on them. So it's just like if you're coming in.
He said all the other ones said that he told them to get abortion, and that's on them. Someone say, Thon, you're being insensitive. Why would you play the Kawhi A. Leonard laugh right there? Well, because it's foolish of women to have children by men who do not want to have babies by them. Like, if we don't start shaming these women, we're going to just be going around and just having babies in illegitimate circumstances. What about the kids? We're just supposed to sit by as, like, women mindlessly breed children into a horrible existence. What's up, Highway 20 Skinny? How you doing, bro?
And then you're lying about everything. Like, how do I know? Like, and I found out like everything because he got mad at me, and like, I guess the truth come out when you're mad, and just told like everything. Oh yeah, I'm in a relationship. Like we met on Hinge, like the dating app. I don't know.
You are really dumb, for real.
But yeah, it's like, I don't know.
That ain't it. That's problem number one.
There's this demeanor of a woman who already sort of like knows there's like they know that they're foolish. They know that they're delusional already. They just make choices, whatever. She's trying to spin a narrative that men are dishonest, and that is why she led. In general, I'm gonna just sum it up in short for you guys. What she's basically saying is that men are so dishonest in the dating market. Men are such liars that's why women are that's why women are out here becoming the 8th baby daddy by somebody who already had 7 kids. You foolish fraud. Like, I know it looks bad, so you need to put it on him, but this isn't gonna work. It's not gonna work. Let's continue.
Problem numero uno. Hinge. Yeah, no. That's where the wild things lurk. I'm not saying there's not needles in a haystack, but no.
And you see, like that's what I'm saying. Like I was new to the app. I actually seen someone like do like a review, I guess, on TikTok about how they went on a date on Hinge, and that was made me download it. And it's like,
but let me ask you this, Ashley. How long was it before y'all were intimate? How long did that take?
Okay, so like a little backstory before I answer that question.
No. How long did it take?
The hesitance to answer the question is borderline a dead giveaway. It's a dead giveaway. If you're not going to answer the question, you might as well just say that you did what she's expecting that you did.
Long story short, how long did it take? The same night? The same day?
No. He tried it, of course.
The same week.
It was when I felt comfortable, like, cause I don't put like a time frame on that, cause like I said before, like I never had like the introduction of dating properly. Like I just go out based how I feel.
Now that is true. A lot of women aren't taught about dating. They aren't taught about how to go about it properly, but they're rebellious in saying I'm grown, like I do what I want to do. I'm grown. That's a lot of things you hear. Some 17-year-old women talking about I'm grown. They still live at home. Sometimes there's advice and wisdom around Black women. You just aren't taking it.
And like I said, a little bit of backstory. This was in 2000. It was last year. But I was in a relationship for 6 years with my baby daddy. And then
Oh,
this
you
is
know I
like
will.
me. We was broken up for like almost 2 years, and I met him. And this is like the first guy I met and had, you have a strong connection with. Like like, I don't know how to explain it, but you meet a person, you instantly vibe, and it's just like, like I said, he tried it the first night or
Thank you,
whatever, but I
Lorraine.
was just like, no, because funny part is we met and he matched with me. We ended up meeting that same night that we matched. So like he was like his foot was on the pedal. And then like I said, he tried it or whatever, but I was like, no, I gotta go to bed. Like I didn't even let him in my house. Like we met, talked in the car, and there was so much that happened with that. But like
Talked in a car. What happened in the car?
so like I said, like it was like 10 o'clock, 9-ish, 9:30 when we met in person. So like, we were just talking,
God,
and I have like my
alarm.
questions. So question number one is like, how long have you been single? Number one, because I like to get a sense of the person. Question number two is how many kids you have, because I have 2 at the time. I had 2. I ended up getting pregnant by him. Anyways, but yeah,
You got pregnant by him?
yeah,
So you're having his 7th child.
right. But at the time, like in the
You are really dumb. For real.
Ain't nobody shame.
Now, I think we've heard 2 other women act as if they didn't know that a man that they had a child with had other children and whatever. With social media and all the stuff that we got nowadays, I want a lot of you women to understand something. That stuff doesn't slide. Much love to Derek Kane. He just dropped 5. I appreciate you. Much love to my dollar crew. Y'all one of them ones.
that's the whole wild story too, because we met in December. What was that? It was not last year. It was December of 2023. And I didn't find out I was pregnant until February, March of 2024. I had my period, but then again, like I said before, I was in a relationship with my baby daddy. I already had 2 kids. Obviously, I'm very fertile. So I was on birth control for 5 years. Like I had the implant in my arm. So I was coming off of the birth control, had my period, didn't find out. Like I said, it was just, I didn't know. But hey, he hid for almost 3 to 4 months. But no, we met and like, okay, so back to the story. We matched on Hinge. We ended up meeting because he wanted to meet me. I guess he thought I was catfish. I don't know. But he was so eager to meet in person right away. So we were talking in the car. I was asking him my questions, how many kids you have, when was your last relationship? Why did your last relationship end? How old are you? What is your name? Like, to me, basic questions. And we were just vibing. And like I said, he tried to invite himself in. I was like, no, we just met. I gotta go. It's like that. We end up meeting like that morning. And like going on a date or whatever. He wanted to take me somewhere downtown. I'm in Atlanta. I was just like, my son wanted to come. I had my son at the time because he wasn't in school yet. And I was just like, well, my son already want to go to IHOP. I didn't really think nothing of it because, like I said before, it's morning. He was very good.
Okay, let me pause her BS. I mean her commentary while I read a comment that I think is that's very interesting, and we got to cover it because it's a good question. Mondo says, I don't understand how guys go in and raw on the first hit. Wow, yeah, exactly. Got to be addressed. We shouldn't be doing this stuff like this, fellas. It is risky. It is risky. I know some would say, well, chemistry. Some of us guys just aren't condom guys. We're just like, hey, man, as long as I don't catch anything that's going to make it fall off. And some guys don't even care. Like a lot of guys, they have a different type of belief system around getting a woman pregnant. A lot of guys have a conversation. They're not good men, but they are honest men, and they say, hey, I don't want to have a kid with you, and I ain't really about strapping. You don't got to deal with me. I've seen guys talk to women like this, so I'm not giving you women a pass. A lot of these guys are honest. They like, if you want to deal with me, you're going to have to bust down. I ain't going to lie. And I'm not using a condom. And if you get pregnant, it's on you. Like guys be telling women this. Guys be like, if you had a baby, I don't want to, like, I ain't. And I'm not saying that these guys are good men. I'm not saying that they're in a moral position. I'm just saying that the woman at that point is held accountable for the decision that she makes after she comes to the realization that he doesn't want to have a child. And I think a lot of, not just black women, but a lot of other single mothers in the West, you all aren't being honest about the way these situations are unfolding. You guys have information that the guy either doesn't want to be a father, that he doesn't want to be with you before you bring the child fully to term, and you make decisions, and then you try to blame the guy. So yeah, men should like not go in chicks raw or whatever, but men have about zero control over if a child comes into this world or not. Women have all the power in regards to if a child comes into this world or not. And not when I'm talking about the act of intercourse itself. This is the big boy table. I'm talking about reproductive rights. Reproductive rights means that if a guy has 50-50 consensual intercourse with a woman and a child comes into play, if the guy were to want to keep the child and the woman wants to pursue a career, she doesn't want her body to change and whatever, that man has no rights to save his child's life. That's what I mean. And if a man can't save his hypothetical embryo, his life, why is he held on the hook if the woman brings the child in to full term and she already knows he doesn't want it? It's a very strange dynamic when you think about it. Longest rant of the show. We're going to let it play.
My child, like, very attentive, very caring, like, just.
Dollar Crew is in at the chat. Rockhound says she had sex with him before knowing his real name. And that's a profound point. Remember that one guy who went viral? He said he was having babies everywhere and it's not on him, and none of them know his name. Remember that? You guys remember that? I know you guys remember that. They were saying, yeah, he was saying, yeah, I got like 10 babies by something like that. It was a wild number. It was like 10 women by 10 babies by like 10 different women or something like that. It was crazy. And he was like, I don't pay child support for none of them. None of these females even had my name, so they can't even come get me. I thought it was hilarious. I did. Everybody was like an uproar about this guy or whatever. I'm like, why aren't you guys getting the women? Like, why aren't y'all? These women didn't even know his name. No condemning of the women who didn't know his name. Jeez. Hard out here on us, man.
Alert, like, you know, my son was being greedy, and he was like, to me, because he was ordering extra stuff. I'm just like, Joseph, you know, he was like, no, let him get what he want. So to me, that like really, because again, I'm coming out of a relationship with my dad, my son's father, for like almost 7 years. We met in 2014. We broke up officially 2022. So like, you know, that was the first time I actually connected with someone like on a level of, okay, I can see myself detaching myself from my last relationship, going somewhere with him. Like, you know, it was just a strong connection. And then that was just like the cherry on top when how attentive he was with my child. And he was just giving genuine. So later on that night, like I decided, okay, like, yeah, we can have sex, you know, because of those feelings. Again, I never, and the crazy part is, like I said, all my life I've been in long-term relationships. This is the first person like I met and had sex with, like literally within 2 days. But again, it was my decision. I could have waited if I wanted to.
It doesn't matter. How much does that count now that the child is here, the damage is done? And you're lying.
Shame in yourself! Ain't nobody shame.
You're lying on top of that. That makes it even more shameful that you're not being honest. That's the first guy you slept with in 2 days? Right. She's actually foolishly going to somehow end up admitting later on that she has done this before with one of her other children's father. Let's go ahead and get back into it.
But it's just like I said, it was a strong, genuine connection, something that I haven't had since my last relationship. So
Much
those
love,
are the
Sinead.
emotions I
Thank
was
you.
going on.
How's the comedy going?
And then he was very attentive
I wanna
to my
see something.
child. But it's so crazy because after that, it's just like
Thank you.
we
$2
that's
crew,
how I
man.
got
Y'all one of
pregnant,
the
honestly.
ones.
So we met December 4th. I end up figuring out, you know, in March, into February, that I got pregnant December 14th. So, but we was together like white on rice. Like, so after that, we was like with each other like constantly. We end up like obviously being around someone, you know, for long, like every day, damn near. Stuff tend to, you know, fall out like naturally, you know. So he got mad at me one time. I guess I wasn't doing what he wanted to do. And he was just
My
like, well,
question is, where are things now, and does he have more kids?
no, so supposedly I'm like my son is like 1.5, so I'm not talking to him now because he's very manipulative. Like it's like you got me with a lie, like with a persona. Because if you would have told me all first of all,
No. He got you because you were in a rush and because you thought you felt a tingle. You thought and this is why, fellas, when women say energy, sometimes even chemistry, they're not good gauges of these things because they're so emotional that even when they think they're feeling something, they usually aren't. Or it's just excitement of the moment. They think that it means something special. Or because the conversation is flowing well and he hasn't said anything that's pissed her off, that means it's time to crack the coochie open. It makes no sense. But she will try to make sense of it. Let's spin the clip.
you would have told me you had 6 kids, it would have been like, okay, nice to meet you. We can be friends.
But
Number
Ashley, you didn't give it enough time.
Exactly.
I didn't, but what I'm saying
Hold
is,
on. I let you speak. I let you speak out of fairness.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't give it enough time. Y'all spoke in the car on the first meetup. The second meetup was breakfast, and then y'all slept together, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then you kind of was like open because he bought, you know, food for your son. So
Not even that. He was very attentive. Like,
okay,
I mean, we spoke about kids and we spoke about like how you parenting wise. Like I spoke about how I was, and it's just like it was the connection was there, the vibe was there. But like I said before, if he would have told me he had 6 kids, I would have asked him how many baby mamas he had. That would have led on a whole nother conversation. So if he was honest from it would have never even got there.
That is simply not true, man. That's simply not true. I don't know how you're coming to this conclusion. As somebody who hasn't made a loyal commitment to you in any way, shape, or form, he doesn't owe you honesty, even though you're justified in expecting it. He doesn't. People lie. People lie every day. It's up to you to figure out how you're going to set your life up to where no matter how dishonest people are, you have a fail-safe to ensure that you're not just jumping out the window on another guy. You guys understand? Like, if you guys don't figure this out, we're going to have a lot more children being born in illegitimate circumstances. And that's stupid when you don't have to do it that way. Okay? Let's go ahead and get back into it. Hold on. Somebody stop the show. Somebody, $2 crew is in the building. Rockhound Publishing, says she got pregnant before she knew his name. Exactly. I mean, it's very difficult to respect you after that. Whatever you have to say after I didn't know his name before I got pregnant, it's not justified. Thank you.
So that's my thing. And I feel like he knew that because I cut it off right when I found pregnant or not. It's just like, you're not going to lie to me, because now it's just like, I'm feeling bamboozled. You know, it's like, who are you? I don't even know. Like, it's like Mulan when she was looking in the lake, like, who is this person
like
I'm
Mulan.
seeing? Because it's just like, this is not what you told, this is not what you got me off of. And my question is, why do that? Like, what is like the reason why men feel like they have to lie about everything?
Again, I told you guys, she's trying to make it about like men she's trying to, her whole narrative is like, I'm pregnant right now because men lie. Very immature. Because again, ma'am, as long as you've been dating, throughout your experiences, there have been men being honest with you. There have been men being dishonest with you. And all of those circumstances didn't lead to some catastrophic damage in your life. This one did. You said, oh, I didn't know he didn't have all those kids. Man, it doesn't matter. Growth is understanding that even if you've been with a guy for 10 years, you had kids with him, and like you end up finding out that something that you really should have known just by paying attention. Growth is understanding that that's still on you. RM says accountability is like kryptonite to women. Quote Kevin Samuels.
And that's how I found out. Like, again, he got mad at me. He told me he was in a whole relationship. So now you telling me you're showing me your character on times 10. Because not only, mind you, I'm pregnant. I'm finding out I'm pregnant and everything. So not only do you lie about your whole persona, you're in a relationship. And that was one of my questions. When was your last relationship? He told me it was 6 months. That was still kind of fresh for me, because I was just like, I'm like, well, so that led me to, how did that end? Like, what was the reasoning why? He was talking about she wasn't going nowhere. She wanted to be a content, like a YouTuber. He bought the equipment and she wasn't doing anything, and he needs all that bull crap. And it's just again, going back to like, why lie? Because even though, yeah, I was moving fast, like I said, I was going off the connection. I'm a very emotional person, but I'm very logical as well, because I'm not gonna put myself in a situation that I know I don't want to be in. And if you would have led with honesty.
Wait. You already put yourself in a situation you don't want to be in. You can't stand on this soapbox or on a pedestal and say, like, I don't make bad decisions, when the whole premise of the conversation is based on a bad decision you've made. We're dealing with an intelligence deficit here for sure. This is what happens when you're compassionate and you're hype about a topic, but you don't really know what you're talking about. That's how ugly it looks. It's pretty cringe.
Because I'm very honest, I'm not gonna lie about how many kids I have. I'm not hiding my kids; they're everywhere, So it's just like, if you would have led with honesty, he would have been immediately friend zone. I don't give a freak how good, he's. And again, another reason, I'm 5'4", he's 6'7".
Okay, that brings a lot into perspective, believe it or not. Much love to Squared Away. He says she's capping. He could have said he had 6 kids and 6 baby mamas, and she still would have let him hit raw. Stop the cap, lady. I agree. That's not besides the point. But, the biggest issue is just her denial with every aspect of this. Not even just that. Thank you, though. Much love for your contribution, bro. I appreciate you. Thank you, bro. A lot. Okay. Let's go ahead and get back into it.
So it's just like a lot of, and like I said, when we met in the car, we was connecting. He was like, we was telling each other where we're from. He wanted to hold me. I felt like that was weird, but I kind of liked it in the sense as well. Like, he was like coddling me like I was a baby. I don't know. It was weird. But
was holding me like a baby.
This is the first tall guy, because my baby daddy is.
Are we supposed to be moved by the fact that somebody who's 6'7" around somebody who's 5'4"? Yeah, like, technically you are the size of a baby in the presence of him. Like, now I'm starting to get into perspective what kind of woman we're dealing with here. You're really juvenile. The way you look at the world is very short and emotional. So you're saying, oh, I don't make bad decisions. Well, if you make decisions based off of these little insignificant finite things, that contradicts the fact. Debu 260 says, this is why I don't chase women. I'm all about building my career, body, and money. I'm not mad at you. I'm not mad at you. And just like Nas says, you'll never lose attention from women chasing money. Like, a lot of guys shouldn't be thinking. The truth is, I always tell my boys, they always laugh because they're not gonna follow it. But I always tell them, y'all shouldn't even really be thinking about women till after you're 35. Y'all should be chilling. Y'all should be building, growing, learning, lifting, learning how to be strong, learning how to be resistant, building skills, get some trades, learn some skills. If you're trying to do content, learn how to be an amazing videographer, editor, all of it. Learn how to write scripts. Learn how to get these AI things to write scripts, whatever. and strap up like until after you're 35 and you're sure you want to start a family. And sometimes, in most cases, that's still too young. Some of you men need to wait till you're 40 to start a family. Seriously. Thank you for that, man. I appreciate you. Keep working hard, looking shredded or so. Yeah.
5'8".
I like to see it.
So it's just
Keep
like
it up.
a lot of was playing on, like I said, our connection was strong. But then it's just like when I found out he lied about everything, it kind of made me look at him different. Like I didn't know this person, so I kind of was distant. Of course, he's very persistent, so I block him. He's blowing me up like constantly. He's popping up to my spot, like, you know, he's one of those. So it's right now he's blocked. Because even if like when I found out I was pregnant, he told me to get an abortion, and my whole thing is like,
Okay, hold on. Wait a second. So you're telling me now he told you verbatim. He told you verbatim he didn't want to, like, anytime you women who the guy already tried to get you to have an abortion and all this other stuff, I don't feel sorry about what happens to you next. He's showing you he doesn't want to have a child with you. What makes any woman out there who had a baby in these same circumstances, what makes you women think you guys should go get child support from a man who has already made it blatantly clear that he doesn't want to have a child for you? You are not a good mother. You're a thief is what you are. You're just an opportunist. You're looking for money. Your ass is poor is what you are. If you think that bringing a man's baby to term who said he wanted to abort the baby and thinking putting him on child support is the smart thing, you're an idiot. That's really dumb. And it puts the baby in a very compromising situation. You guys are sending these children for vacation time or custody time with men who don't want them. That's very compromising to the child's safety. Shame on you. Shame on the system for allowing it. My goodness.
I feel like I'm disclosing too much.
You wanna stop?
Too late for that,
You wanna
idiot.
stop? You can totally stop. You know, if you feel like
because I want a different
give you that.
perspective, and I feel like you have to know, like,
Germaine Small says she is blackmailing this guy. Yeah, like once a woman who has never had any power in the dynamic now has a child and she knew she was never going to get like a commitment or anything like that. Once she has a child, she tries to use the child as like a renegotiation. She's like, okay, well, I have a baby now. Like, what we doing? And they think that works. And it never has. They're always like, yeah, so what we doing now? Because now this baby is involved. So now you got to look at me different and treat me different. And like, this is a whole different situation now, baby boy. And like, women be foolish enough to think that guys are going to be muscled like that. Even if they originally liked you, a guy will walk away from a woman talking like that, trying to renegotiate a new deal. I think it's accurate. It's certainly a possibility that she's using the whole child to just try to like extort. And then of course, it's in her interest to act as if she has him blocked. But let's keep in mind, that doesn't hold a lot of weight, man. You had a man's baby with somebody who, you had his baby and he said he wanted you to get an abortion, which means you want to have his child. So blocking him doesn't make him any more or less the man that you want to have your babies. I just don't think you thought it through.
everything in order for me to like get like a different mindset, because it's just like now I know the truth. And like I said, if it was disclosed who he really was in the beginning, it would have never led to anything else. But even that, it's like seeing, like, I feel like I was blinded by the connection. And I noticed, like, again, this is almost 2 years ago, I tend to realize, like, I have a, like, we tend to vibe with the personality, but the character doesn't match up. So it's like when we connect, we're connecting with the personality.
You notice she's saying words like vibe. It's very reminiscent of what we talk about when Shazad Ali says black women are all trapped in the state of a 14-year-old girl. Or when I say Black women are suffering from arrested development. Pink Book Lessons, she says that. She seconds that. So does Crimson Cure. Black women just aren't developing. You all aren't maturing as women. Y'all just got bills and cars, but you're still kids in the way that you think. Very, 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 very immature. Otto Hayes says, but she's not a narcissist. Y'all cooking down there. I think that this has got the men riled up. We all at least have a homie or an uncle or somebody who has just been played around with by some woman who he never cared anything about. She just got lucky and hit a genetic lottery, and now she's following him around. And then while she's following him around, she's calling him a deadbeat to everybody, but really she's following him around. You're the only person suing him and trying to whatever and trying to be connected to him through paperwork.
Personality of the person, but if the character is not aligned with the personality, what's good of personality if your character is flawed? If you're not, if you don't have
childish.
no,
Still a kid.
integrity, no like morals, like you don't know where your head is. It's just like so.
But Ashley, you didn't.
Highway says blinded in 2 days. Red flag. Yeah, like how do you like? In 2 days, you're not supposed to know a lot about any person in 2 days. That's Ashley's whole position. That's mine. You're like, but people shouldn't lie in them 2 days, though. It's like, it's not what we're talking about. Just because he lied in 2 days. It's like, what is that? He lied within 2 days of meeting you. That doesn't make you less foolish for sleeping with him within 2 days of meeting him. I just don't see how this is evading you.
Again, you didn't give it enough time. I'm not saying he's wrong for lying, but you didn't even give it a chance to get to know him. You didn't give it time. There was no time to get to know this man.
He had above average. He probably was above average in attraction. He's 6'7". He's above average in attraction. He's 6'7". There aren't a lot of men at that height. You just did what you did. And it's obvious why you did it. You wanted to sleep with him. I'm with Germaine or Squared Away, whoever said that if you would have known he had 6 kids by 6 different women, you still would have slept with him. I agree. Just stop lying.
We didn't even give it a real week. And that also says to me, when you said the first day we was in the car, he's 6'7", I'm 5'4", he cuddled me, you allowed him to cuddle you. That's also a signal to him if you allow him. And
yeah, like if I'm kicking it with a woman and on the second time me kicking it with her, like all I have to do is say, oh, I feel like cuddling. It doesn't happen in some natural progressing way. All I have to do is just be like, I feel like cuddling. You want to cuddle? And you're just like, oh, okay. I'm not gonna lie and be like, this chick is easy. I'm getting ready to get these draws. This is gonna be easy.
And because he already has 7 children, 6 children, he knows the game. He knows that all he needs is height. He probably don't even need money for real because girls are just open.
But he has money.
In some cases, there are some guys out here that have such rare genetics that they really don't, it ain't that they don't need money. They still need money to be valuable, generally speaking. But they don't need money to crush booty. Like, they won't, to be the guy that a woman wants to marry, a lot of times you're still going to have resources, a good life. But when it comes to access to women, oh man, just being over 6 foot, having a strong jawline, good, a good body, you can make $40,000 a year. If you have those genetics, there are going to be a lot of women who are going to be like, they're going to respond positively to your advances. And they'll figure the money stuff out later. There are some guys out there who are like that. I don't even have rare genetics like somebody who's 6'7", but I still say till this day, I got way too much booty broke. Way too much. A few women thought I looked good, and I was getting too much booty with no money. I needed to be cracking down. I needed to be working on my craft. I needed to be working on getting here and not sleeping with so many women. And I don't have like an astronomically high body count, but for where I should have been putting my time and energy and efforts, a lot of those bras shouldn't even have been around me. But you know, you live and you learn.
Like, that's another thing.
I'm not saying he doesn't, but I'm saying the height alone is gonna have girls open. So he saw you,
like
you were willing.
Okay. For me, not necessarily. I feel like that's high school. I don't go off of height. Like I said before,
You don't think it's high? You think that that's high school? No, ma'am. That is life. See, again, you're saying things that are putting in perspective that you're a very juvenile person. That's not high school. That's the whole world. That's how a lot of people are evaluating. That's how women are evaluating men. And why do they evaluate? Why is this standard so sought after? Well, it's because it signifies that they could be good protectors. It goes back to your evolutionary faculties that are looking for someone to defend you from harm, perverts, violators. You want somebody strong, somebody who signifies that they can protect you. But again, we all know that fighting and self-defense has little to do with height. There are people who are 5'5" that'll knock somebody who's 6'6" block off. And we all know that, especially as fight enthusiasts. I'm a fight enthusiast myself. All the best ones were short. But I'm just saying, I see why women are overwhelmingly going after the tall men in the dating market. Their whole cosmetic need, I care nothing for. Oh, I want somebody who looks good next to me in heels. Like, I don't care, bitch. What'd you just say to me? Think I care? Saw off the bottom of one of those heels, and then we go out and you fall down. I selfie it. Shut up. And I say that as somebody standing at 5'11", but still just like,
have my questions, and I have my questions for a reason, but I don't expect people to lie about like basic crap. But like and now looking backward, like he had a Mercedes Benz.
Duke Dennis is 6'2", but he's also cleaning up because he's also like why Duke Dennis gonna crash everybody's female is because, well, not like your female or like another guy's, but just he's gonna do well. It's not just that he's 6'2", it's that he's a good looking young man. Like he's pretty. He's got a good smile. His face symmetry is good. He's got good skin, and he gives off that hood persona, but he's actually got something going on for himself. When you hear Duke Dennis talk, he sounds like those guys that, you know, usually you might be threatened by, but he's actually well put together. He's a good guy. He's trying to just do something positive with his life and be a content creator. But he gives that hood guy vibe. But that don't mean he's doing hood stuff or that he's a criminal or anything. I'm just saying, like, he's perfect for like this new IRL streaming, whatever. 6'6". Oh, if he's 6'6", yeah, he crashing even more than I thought. Shouts out to him. I'm happy for him. 6'5", successful, streaming. He's doing what he loves. He's getting paid to play. Man, I'm so happy for that man. So happy for that black man. Kill him. Kill him dead, Duke.
And he wanted me to drive his Mercedes Benz because we went to get food. Like, we went to a Mediterranean place that closed at 2.
That's a part of the game.
I see that now. He's from Memphis. That's another thing. Like, he from Memphis, Texas. So it's just like, it's so crazy. Like I said, we got in an argument and he told me everything. He told me he was a pimp. He told me,
somebody says, who is Duke Dennis? He's very popular. Very, very popular. Not like Caius and that popular, but he's in that same content creator circle. I'm not saying that everybody should know him, but he's a big deal. The girls really like him. That's really what's blowing up. A lot of guys, girlfriends are going over to watch his streams, and then the guys find out. It's kind of become this viral thing. I just like to see black men getting attention when they're not like doing anything that's going to harm them, or they're not doing anything that's going to harm anybody else. And when the women are loving them, that's a positive. Miss Kane says, love the glow up, looking very professional. Thank you, Miss Kane. That's what it's all about, just elevating for you guys. Six, 7 with a Benz. Oh yeah, you wanted him to hit. And he had a lot of times, and this is what I tell you guys when I have this conversation, a lot of people say, oh, well, there are guys out there who have babies by they have 5 different babies with 5 different women. Why don't you come down on them? Well, I do, but it's not the same type of loss in the dating market. You just haven't thought about it. Because a guy who has 6 children by 6 different women, if he can make $70,000 a year, he probably can pay for his kids and probably pay for another set of kids. It's different than if he had those same circumstances and he was coming to a woman and saying, can you help me pay for these children? That's different. That's the circumstance that a woman is in if she has 6 children by 6 different men. It's the same blow, except the children that you're bringing in, they need something. Their hands are out. My kids' hands were already full when we were coming to your little situation to clean it up. It's a completely different dynamic. Women can act like they and argue up and down all they want that Future is no different than any other baby mama out there. It's wrong. That's why he's still sleeping with who he wants. In every city he goes to, there's a new woman who don't care about the kids that he has. And other women who have the same circumstances, their dating options are limited. God, we're at a huge like disparagement. Could you guys show me that you appreciate being here with me today and hit the like button? That'd be awesome. Thank you.
He was the reason why he hit me up, because he wanted me to be one of his hoes. And I'm just like, whatever gave you that I will even be? Well, I know that's not you now. That's why I like you. I didn't know if he was playing or not, because he's a liar. Like,
you didn't know if he was playing or not. See, man, what you have to understand is a woman who has even a shred of decency, the moment he cracks a joke like that, you're getting away from him. You stayed. How many glaring symbols does he have to veil out in front of you that he's not somebody to father a child with? You ignore it. And you're like, man, these guys lie. Like, one of the most hilarious women we've ever covered. Let's get back into it.
He lies about everything. So it was just like, at this point, I had him on ice because I don't even know what to decipher. Is this the truth or a lie? Like, you feel me? Like, I'm just like, I'm like, again, totally confused. I'm like, I'd rather just separate. Then I found out I'm pregnant. So we stopped talking for like 2 months. And within 2 months, I found out I was pregnant after he disclosed he was in a relationship. And then it's just like, it started, I don't know, like me being pregnant, going through emotions. Now I feel like I'm a single mom of 3 now, you know, me telling him, it was just a lot. But I feel like I get what you're saying. Like, I didn't give it enough time, and I feel that. Like, I obviously realize that now. But it was, like I said before, me ending my relationship with my first baby daddy, and it's like meeting people, not really connecting with them, not really giving like, oh, I can be with you vibe. Mm-hmm. Me meeting him instantly, having that connection, like so strong that I'm not even thinking about my baby daddy and the drama that he's trying to put me in a love triangle, because that's a whole nother story in itself. I feel like, I guess, I don't know, like,
I think you need to focus on yourself. I think you need a therapist as well. I think you should go to therapy. Absolutely. But I think you need to just focus on you right now, Ashley, and not no other guys. I don't think you should be focused on men.
I'm not. No. I just feel like, because like I said, like right now it's just like I'm taking care of my kids. And again, I wasn't looking for him. Like, that he just so happily liked me, we started talking. Like, and that's another thing. I don't go looking for anyone. Like, I just attract. you know, and then
But
I
out
click.
of fairness, Ash, if you're on a dating app like Hinge, you're looking
But it's
to
because
be.
I seen it on TikTok, and the girl was just like, "Oh my gosh, like I just had this great." So it was just out of curiosity. If I would have never seen the ad on TikTok, I would have never even I would have never
You
even
are
heard of the
really
app. So it's not
dumb.
like I
For
was looking for
real.
something. I was just curious, like, okay, what is
My
this?
dog
Because I
died.
got off of Tinder because Tinder, everybody knows that's just a booty call. So it was so many weird people on Tinder, I deleted it. So I'm like, what is Hinge? Like maybe it's something more sophisticated, something more mature. And it's just like that's the reason and why. It's not like I was looking for like a date or a boyfriend. Like I said, I was getting out of something now. I guess I'm asking like obviously like I said, I'm taking care of my kids, I'm focused on my kids, but it's just like that doesn't stop people from, messaging me. That doesn't stop people from like wanting to, and I tell them I already say I'm not looking for a relationship, but I don't want to like get, again, I guess my question is talking to someone, but getting a connection with them, like what is like obviously waiting before you have sex, that's obviously, but it's just like, I guess, what would be a better decision other than waiting to have sex? Like I say, anyways, just like trying to vet the person out before they get mad and tell you like everything else. Like what are some key like red flags to look for if a person lies about their age? How many like I don't know.
Yeah, I would just say wait long enough.
What about if he asked you to be what about if he asked you to be one of his prostitutes? Like he asked you to be one of his street workers. What about if he tells you something like that and you just ignore it? Like you have to pay attention to the signs, and he gave you plenty. You've made it. You've made that clear. He's like given a lot of signs. I really think you women see the genetics you want and you take them. When I was reckless in the hood, I used to look at some of these females and I used to be like, man, I know you guys aren't letting this many dudes just be able to have this kind of access. Y'all pick and choose what kind of genetics you want to steal. Some guys that make strap up, but the guy who's might look like he's going somewhere, got some decent genetics, all of us, the conversation might not even happen. Very
to the
common.
point where you can ask them for anything and they're willing to say, okay, babe, whatever it takes, here's my ID. Whatever it takes, here, meet my mom. Here's a piece of mail. Here's where I live. Oh, come to my job, babe. Whatever it takes, so I can have you. When he gets to the whatever it takes, then you'll know.
And then I'll read in the comments and someone's like, oh, she can't control herself. First of
Hold
all,
on, what did
what part
Ashley
of the
say?
service?
Let me see
You'll
if that was
know.
good advice. Let me see if that was
Here's
good
where I
advice.
live. Oh, to say, okay, babe, whatever.
How many, like, I don't know.
Yeah, I would just say wait long enough to the point where you can ask them for anything and they're willing to say, okay, babe, whatever it takes, here's my ID. Whatever it takes, here, meet my mom. Here's a piece of mail. Here's where I live. Oh, come to my job, babe. Whatever it takes, so I can have you. When he gets to the whatever it takes, then you'll know.
And then I'll read in the comments and someone's like,
I think women can instinctively know when they don't have room to have leverage like that. One mistake I'm seeing you make, Ashley, it's not a bad one. It's that you're expecting that women are having the same ease that you're having with guys, and you thinking that they could be having the same experience, or that certain philosophies are just that simple. But it actually really, it isn't that simple. That's why to do this work, Ashley, you have to have a very thorough understanding of men to be able to help these women. And I think you've had success with men, but it's funny. The men who are looking to have success with you, they're the least likely to be honest. So if you're learning only from your experiences, I'm pretty sure you could use some help. Chubby722 says, Thon, either she's lying or she's an airhead who's easy. You can't make this shit up.
My dog died alone.
Yeah. She's too easy and she's an airhead. She's like, Ashley, like, so there's a way to vet without like just giving it up as soon as I feel like it? Yeah. There is. And there are some of us guys, we'll take the booty first date, but depending on who you are, we might not respect you for doing it. But just because it's the same way how women try to get guys to do things that aren't masculine. And then when they succeed in getting the guy to do that, they'll break up with the guy. Because it was a test all along. If you start doing what I tell you to do, you're not a man in the first place. And one would say, well, why are you playing that game? Well, so that I can see. It's a shit test.
Oh, she can't control herself. First of all, what part of the story gave not out of control? Like, make it make sense. I literally said I met somebody. I asked them questions. We connected, and I made a decision. How is that out of control? Like, some people are... It's
Ma'am, what do you mean? You said, listen to what you're saying, man. You're saying, how is that out of control? We met. We had a conversation. Truth is, regardless if he lied or he was honest with you, you shouldn't have slept with him probably within the first 2 days of meeting him. I think you were so attracted to him that you slept with him. That's what I think. You were just enamored. He had a nice car. He's got rare height. You were trying to fill in the details later on, after the fact. That's the mistake you made. You're like, I don't understand how that's making a bad decision. It's like, because it's a horrible decision. It's like, what am I missing?
But for me, it's the people who love to comment stuff. But you go look at it's a whole nother, it's like Jerry Springer episode. So it's just like, let's keep it cute, because you have people out here asking for genuinely like advice and stuff and being like completely honest, because there's no shame in my game. Like, I'm not going to be shameful because somebody lied about their whole identity. Like, the fuck, I'm not Cleo. I'm not a lie detector test. Like, there's no way for me to detect that. I could have waited, 2 years and stuff. What would have gave? Oh, he's lying about his age, and if
you would have found out. You would have found, because a liar can't lie.
You would have found out if you would have taken the time to find out. The issue is not a liar. The issue is the speed in which you gave your body up to this guy without knowing for sure who he is. He does not owe you honesty. He just met you. Honesty is what you can expect in society for the most part, but you shouldn't expect it so much to where it's unhealthy, to where you start thinking that people just don't lie and you can take everybody's word on everything. Now that's dangerous, because you can't take everybody's word on everything. You women lie every day. You lie you lie all the time. You say you're not looking for a stepfather when you are. You women lie every day. You're always talking about, I don't want liars. Kendra G asked y'all to name something bad about yourself. You say something good. You can't even name something wrong with yourself. I'm sorry about that next level. We fighting one hell of a fight over here with YouTube. I'm sorry for the people who didn't get notified today about the live. I'm thinking about starting a Discord server, and literally everybody who tunes into the show, I'm putting on this Discord server, and then I'm going to notify you guys before we go live. We're not messing with this foolishness.
For too long. I'm not saying there won't still be stuff that he's not hiding, but the truth always comes to light.
On his Instagram, he literally only had that one child that he claimed.
Much love to DJ Talent. He stopped the show. Says, Godson, nice suit. Let off the AK on the hypocrisy. I got you. Hold on, let me get to it. There's the trigger. Certainly a hypocrite.
My dog died alone.
So it's just like, okay, unless I'm with him 24/7,
eventually he would have slipped up and said something. He would have slipped up and said something. You would have been like, well, who's Connor? Oh, don't worry about that. Don't.
Or you could have maybe asked around, got a second reference, asked about him. You're just like, nope, I'm in this circumstance because he lied. That's not how adults take accountability, man. Look at the women raising our children.
That's how life happens. He would have gotten relaxed and then slipped up and said something, or the phone would have rang and you saw a notification or a picture on the phone of another child.
Baby mama popped up. Baby mama would have popped up. Y'all would have been eating. She'd have been like, oh, this food look real good. You seeing you ain't fed my baby in hella long. What y'all eating? Black women, black women don't give a damn. What y'all got? What y'all eating? Because he ain't fed, you don't have to be quiet, ma'am, because he ain't fed this baby in forever. If you would have just went on some dates, took him in public, it's something about baby mamas. It's like they got a GPS built on a nigga who like they got trapped. They be like, that nigga at the Cheesecake Factory. Please. Ashley's right. All you had to do was like date him for like a week or two. I bet you one of them baby mamas would have popped. I guarantee you one of those baby mamas would have popped up. Y'all would have been walking down the street. He would have thought everything was good. It's been forever since you took care of them babies, nigga. And she comes and she whatever. Come on, man. I wasn't born yesterday.
That's how life works.
IHOP, right.
The universe
IHOP.
gives you signs, even if you're not looking. But you have to give it time.
In South Bend, we got this thing called the East Race. In South Bend, yeah, we got the East Race. South Bend, it's not a lot of magical things happening and going on in my city, in the city of South Bend. When we're not talking about basketball and some other things, but we have some historical landmarks. One of them is the East Race, right? It's this bridge. It's this particular bridge in downtown South Bend, and for whatever reason, I'm not sure when this started. I think your boy Thon even did it one time. For whatever reason, men, we just started taking all the girls we didn't really care about that much down there. Like it became like a haven for infidelity. Like if you didn't want anybody to find out about a chick, whatever, you take her, you walk her underneath the East Bay Tunnel. If you're from South Bend, you know what I'm talking about. East Race. It's where we take the women that we don't. If a guy is dating you in the South Bend and he say, let's go to the East Race, he's got 5 girlfriends. He's got 5 girlfriends. He doesn't like you that much. This is how South Bend men work. And then we have this tunnel. It's really scary. Like you go down it, you walk under it, and it's like this tunnel. You go under, there's like water. I'm like, oh my goodness, how many people have been murdered under here? It's like, it's an awful thing. I'm like, I know somebody's died under here. But that's where guys want to like take their girls that they don't want to be seen. Very, 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 very common. Because there's something about South Bend, man. We're tired of being pulled up on. Our mothers getting beat up. We got crafty. But then we all would start going down there and we'd be like, hey, dude, I'm here first. You got to find a new spot to cheat at, bro. One time I was down there. It was another nigga down there with me. I said, hold on, bro. Because if you get caught up, you're going to draw attention to what the fuck I got going on. I'm just saying, I wasn't always like just some sophisticated person. I was ratchet at one time. One time I didn't know how to act. There was a time where I put it in a book or something. Let's go ahead and get back to the show. No more playing. That was it.
Not that you're looking for him to lie or looking for him to do something wrong.
But my thing is because even if given it time and I would have found out that we would eventually still have sex. So what does having sex with him have to do with him lying about his identity? This is the comment when somebody say you out of control, because like make it make sense. If I'm coming and it's just not like, oh, like take me. If I'm coming in and I'm asking you simple questions about your life, about your relationship, like because like I said, I'm a detective. How I found out is because I wanted to find out. I did my due diligence.
Hold on, wait. Don't try to call yourself a detective and like big yourself up, man. All of your Matlock skills were before. All of your little Matlock skills. That was before you get pregnant. Don't try to big up your investigative skills now that like it's too late, man. Why are you trying to you're cocky like you didn't find yourself in this circumstance or something. I think you forgot that this happened to you. You're back getting aired again. Well, I'm an investigator, Ashley. Like, well, where were your investigation skills within those 2 days? Okay. Come on, guys.
And like, okay, well, I seen the inconsistency here. Let me do my research. And that's how everything got devolved. And, you know, but either way, if a person is lying to you about everything, what out of that gets out of control?
Well, ma'am, here's what makes it out of control. Because you were always in control about how much vetting of the man you did. Even if it was within those 2 days, you had all the control over if you were going to like take his word or not. You chose to take his word. That was a bad choice. But you had control over that choice. You gave that control up to a man who's dishonest. You are out of control. Not in a this bitch is rowdy, somebody lasso this bitch up type of way, but you're out of control in a you don't have control of the decisions you make, your choices. You make poor choices. Your choices are loose. You're thinking when he says out of control, it's like, bitch, hold me back. Like out of control. No, out of control, like you don't have control of yourself. You're like Mr. Samuels would say, you're not qualified to fix your own life and manage your own shit.
Like, anywho.
But the thing is, Ash, if you don't feel like you're out of control, why does it bother you so much? If you don't
I
believe
just
nothing,
read the comments and it's
no,
just like,
let me
it's
say this.
stupidity.
He said, D. Corey dropped 8, says, I'm still rolling at you calling Kendra Ashy. Man, had to. Can't stand Kendra. But yeah, let's go ahead and get back into it. Thank you for that, bro. Appreciate you.
People just want
But a lot of people say a lot of things about a lot of people on the internet, including myself. But we don't have to be triggered by it if it's not the truth.
It's
right?
not necessarily a trigger. It's just like I said before, like I'm very passionate or whatever, and that's why I say I'm emotional. So it's like when I'm coming for you on your show or live and asking you for advice, and I'm reading the comments thinking people being supportive, because it's the ones who commented ish like that who got a whole bunch of shit they need to worry about in their life and don't have the guts to come up and disclose what they got going on. And like I said before, if I was never lied to, it would have never slept with, because I know what I tolerate. Like I have levels. I'm not going to tolerate, because like I said, I ask questions, and that's the reasoning for my questions. I have a lineup. So.
But ma'am, you should ask those questions under the understanding that some people might not answer them honestly. And you need to have a procedure for that. You didn't think it through far enough. You're like, I'm going to ask all my questions, and if they lie, that's on them. But if you end up with a baby, that's on you. You can't be out here wishing upon a star that people will be honest. You need to make sure that your life is managed in a way to where bad things can't happen. That's it. That's just it. Like, when I remember earlier I was talking about with my sons, I'm like, if you guys want to guarantee that you have wealth in your life, regardless if you're rich or not, and I mean guarantee it, don't have kids before you're 35. Regardless of what you do, stay out of the bush. Don't just chill. Work, grow, study, read, become, conquer. Your queen will find you because you're always on your purpose. You'll find the right one. You'll find her on the path.
It was just like I said, I wasn't really triggered. It was just annoying because it's just like what I'm saying gave out of control.
But the thing is, Ashley, you're telling me you have levels, right? You're telling me you have levels, but you also told me that you allowed him to hold you like a baby in a car.
Because honestly, because like I said, we were vibing, and to me that was harmless. I didn't really. It was kind of weird. I'm not gonna lie, because I never had someone hold me, but it was just like. To the point where we was talking before they even happened, we was talking for a good 3 hours. Like we spent 5 hours talking in the car. Like I said, we went and got food and everything. So it's not like we were just in a car. It's just, we met at 9. It was like 9:30. So it was like
that's inappropriate. That's inappropriate for a first date.
And that's why I'm again. It's just like I never got the vetting experience. My mom didn't talk about how do you date. My dad wasn't in the picture, so how do I know like what's appropriate and what's not appropriate unless it's like of course the obvious touching and sexual things like that unwanted it. But how was I supposed to know like him asking to hold me was inappropriate?
Yeah, I don't think anyone should touch you on a first date or first meeting, okay? Even, someone you're meeting off the street for the first time, you wouldn't hug them. Even if it was another woman who was on, you're not going to just hug some random stranger that you don't know, right? That takes time and that takes trust because you have boundaries.
Mm-hmm.
So
that's what I'm
giving
saying.
things more
Maybe I'm
time
too
in your
trusting
life.
too fast because, like I said, before he even hold me, it was already 3 hours into the conversation, and I was obviously liking what I was hearing. Like I felt like he was just so honest, and that's
Again, ma'am, you feel like he was honest. Time has already showed you he wasn't, but you're still trying to lean on an argument that, well, I felt like he was being honest with me. Well, how much does that count when, come to find out, he was a big time liar? How much does that count when you find out he's not an honest guy?
that leads me to my original question. Like, how do you see through the blinders? Like when a person is literally coming off so genuinely, so honest, like not hesitant to the questions you're asking.
Right.
How do you vet through the lies? Like I'm not
Because
a
you watch
walking
what
lie
he
detector.
does and not what he says. You watch what he does and not what he says. That's how you know.
And how would you do that? Now that you've taken your sip of your libation, how would you get that accomplished? You take your time. This is the crux of what Ashley's trying to help you with. You have to take your time. A lot of you women are rushing. You're like, oh, we was vibing. It's like, what is that? What does that mean?
Okay.
The actions, not the words.
I guess that answers part of my question, because I feel like if a person can lie about their whole identity, like it's just a matter of time till they like get trapped in their lies, and by then that could be a year, that could be 2 years. So it's just like by then everything that is done. So you're back at square one. Of course, like once I found out the truth, I separated myself from that, because if I would have known that in the beginning, it would have never led to anything else. But it's just like I get when you say.
But in order to grow, and granted, we already know he's wrong for lying, but we also have to take accountability, right? I do understand you said you didn't have a mother or dad to give you that experience, but you do have a child, right? Before you're 1.5, you have 2 children, right? So that tells me you have a little life experience. You're a mom. I'm not saying all the life experience in the world, but you do have life experience. So we have to pull from that as well.
But see, like if you want to go there, it's just like with my baby daddy. We met on Instagram. We was talking for like over face, because he was like I said, I'm from Gwinnett County. I'm in Georgia. He's from Columbus, Georgia. So we was talking for a good 2 years, like over the phone or whatever. But when we first saw each other in person, it's like it was a week of us being together, and then he left back to Columbus, and I left with him, and now.
You see the same situation.
But
literally again, ma'am. Talking to somebody on the phone, not the same as like you haven't gotten to know that person if you haven't met them in person. It's no different. This is what happens to you women who stake out outside of prisons. No matter what y'all been doing all that time, the relationship don't start, or the camaraderie and the rapport don't start till he can look at you and see you. Men, we're visual and physical. You women, if y'all trust these men who think, who y'all really be trusting guys who are acting like they really enjoy talking to y'all for a few years, that's really risky. That's what I say to any woman who's like waiting on a guy in jail, stuff like that. Like, listen, man, like there aren't a lot of, like, he's talking to you at whatever frequency he's talking, it's because he ain't got no other choice. He doesn't like you like that. He doesn't respect you because he knows you're of one small group of women who's crazy enough to even have a conversation with him. He has to inherently not respect you as much. It's no different than this kind of situation.
That's my point. So it's just like,
yeah,
that takes me back to all my life. It's just like I never waited, because it's just like once I get that connection, I feel like I have my person, because you can talk to, I don't care who you talking to. If you're not vibing with them, you don't have an actual connection, like a bond to them, a tie to them, you're not wanting to do, like they're on the back burner. Like, you're not going to make time for them unless they're providing you with something. If it's not like a physical, or you're connected with them, attracted to them enough to be with them without them giving you, like, anything, you know, it's not gonna go there. So I guess that's my, like, leads me to my point. Like, all my life, like, my like relationship's been fast pedaled. This is just the first one that I had a baby with without a long history committed relationship. Like I
Squared away. Drop 2. Much love. Thank you for that. He says, did he lie or has she just known him for 2 days? No, she didn't lie. I mean, within 2 days of being around this guy, and I believe that there are other guys who wouldn't have been able to crack. I know why she cracked. She cracked because of what he had just right out of the gate that could signify that if she hooks him, she's got a guy who's better than other men in the dating market. That was what she signified to him. Not that that was true. That's just what she signified to him.
I said, we was together for 7 years. We were engaged, but I was just not gonna, just because I have kids with you, I'm not gonna take the ish he was trying to pull with me. But that's what I'm saying. So it's more of a, and even with him, like, oh my gosh, like I said, we was talking for 2 years, you know, but we met in person. I moved back, found out his baby, he had a child, you know, he had 2 kids apart from ours. Found out his baby mama lived with his mama. And it's just like, now I'm moving back. He just broke up with his girlfriend a week ago. And it's just like, now I'm moving with him to a whole nother part of Georgia and all this baby mama drama and ex-girlfriend drama. And it's just like,
That's why.
So you've been in this circumstance before.
You are really dumb. For real.
And you act as if you're oblivious to how I'm surprised that it's taking you this long to realize the obvious. You're the common denominator. And any other women watching this, there are always guys out there who are willing to sleep with you and they're not ready to have children. It's up for you to figure that out. He doesn't have to be like honest with you, or like, you have to vet him. And if you don't feel like it, if that sounds too adulting, here's what you do. You get a man in your family to do it for you, like it's been done historically forever. You go, uncle, like, I don't really know who I should be dating. Like, I really don't. Like, the guys who I think I like, they never really pan out good for me. I need somebody who's actually just going to be right for me and is going to be like, we're going to have a stable life, build kids, just like you saw, so on and so forth, and our family do. How do I go about finding that guy? A lot of you women need the men in your family, if you have any, helping you. Because for years, decades, maybe centuries, women, you guys have not been equipped to vet your own men. This is why men got involved. We watched y'all bring home men for the reasons you thought they were valuable, and men were like, that's not how it goes. And then men got involved. The whole issue is, man, you waited far too long to vet. You waited far too soon. You slept with this guy as soon as you met him. And that's the sin you made. But you think, oh, well, he wasn't honest with me when I met him. That's why I ended up pregnant. No. You shouldn't have done anything with your body based off of anything he said within those particular 2 days. That's where you're guilty. That's where you ruin your kid's life and potentially yours.
That's why I keep
but
saying.
we was talking for 2 years. So like I said before, I get when you say, like, you know, talk, you vet it out, but people are going to disclose to you what they want to show you. You don't know until you're actually in the moment. You're actually there. Like, I didn't find out until I actually was there in person to experience everything. We was talking for 2 years and that never came up. He never. So again, like, how do you, or can
James Muhammad from the Dollar Crew, y'all one of them ones. He says, James Muhammad, another victim from the most educated group. Yeah, one second they're the most educated, they're strong, they're magic, and all this other crap. Then the next minute, they're just damsels in distress. Their woman intuition don't work no more all of a sudden. They're just so vulnerable to all the dishonesty of all the men in the dating market. But in another breath, they like, if you don't come correct, I'm a no. So just don't try to lie to me, because if you lie to me, I'm going to find out. They try to like dry threaten you. Like, it's just, ugh. I loved ratchet women growing up, but the stuff y'all would say, I would have to just grit my teeth and act like you didn't say it so I could get the booty. It was awful. We grow up.
and you see through the bullshit, or maybe you just have to go through what you go through and find out, and then make your decisions then. Because
you don't have to go through what you go through. You could just give it time. You could be patient.
That was 2 years.
You don't have to let the infatuation phase, take you off your step.
And boy, was she infatuated.
Game. Yes, you like him, but liking him, that's not enough to be like, this is the one and I'm ready to give you all of me. No. And one thing men bank on is women being honest. That's what men bank on.
Adam Real just joined the $5 crew, said, drop the AK on her. Let me go ahead and get over to the trigger. Let's go, Dollar Crew. Y'all one of them ones, man.
They bank on you being honest and telling all of the truth. While they sit there, take the notes.
Should I not
and know they're going to lie?
I mean, so honest or so
No, I just think you shouldn't focus on a man. That's what I think you should do. I think you shouldn't be focused on a man right now. I think you should be focused on you. I think you should go to therapy. And I think we know the men are wrong. But I also want you to think, what things did I do and what things can I change moving forward so I don't make these same mistakes again? Where did I go wrong? Although we know he did wrong, where did I go wrong? And what changes can I make so the next time I'm not finessed? I'm not saying no one's going to lie to you again, because people lie. But what can I do moving forward so this doesn't happen again?
Let me jump in real quick. That's the main thing you got to focus on, lady. People have almost the human right to lie. None of us are functioning at 100% honesty. Lying has become evolutionarily, it's become necessary, socially necessary. It's become necessary for us socially. If we were all moving on 100% honesty through society, it would just be blood and chaos all down the street. It would just be Armageddon. Except we'd all be at each other's throats. People lie. People lie all the time. But not those white lies I just described. Some people lie about everything they got going on. Women, you guys hate liars. But a lot of you guys are some of the biggest liars. Look at the paternity fraud that you see in the West. You women are you guys are putting babies on men that aren't yours. You guys are always trying to spin some liar narrative with men. It's projection at best. You guys can't even name a flaw. You guys can't even name where you're flawed. That's dishonest in itself, inherently narcissistic as well. You're always saying narcissist this, narcissist that. Somebody says Kendra look crazy as fuck. It's not Kendra. Y'all wild, man. She played stupid game, won the dumbest prizes. Yeah, like you thought like when you had the baby, that guaranteed you access to the bins.
It's a pattern.
And
we gotta break that cycle. That means no more guys. There needs to be a detox.
But that's what I'm saying. Like I haven't. Since him, I don't talk to guys. Like I haven't. Like I'm to the point where it's just like all I do is work. I work from home. I just work and take care of my kids. Like I don't talk. I don't want to talk to anybody. But that doesn't stop guys from approaching you. And I'm kind of scared, to be honest, because now I'm looking in the review. Of course, I'm not really taking I'm not taking no one too seriously, but it's just like, do I want to talk to you? Are you like, let me see your ID? Like, because that's the first, and that's another thing. That's the first time someone ever like bamboozled me that like to the point where they lied about everything. Like I never had a person lie about their name, their age, their birthday. Like nigga told me he was a Capricorn. He was born in January. He was born in September. Looked on his ID. So it's just like,
Ma'am, maybe he just didn't know. Like, you gotta ask yourself, what does he get up for? Before you start thinking you can deem everyone a liar, and you're not an expert at this, so stop trying. You need to ask yourself, what would motivate him? What does he get for lying to me about his zodiac? What prize does he win for that, man? You have to think about what he has to gain or lose from being dishonest before you're certain that he's dishonest. That helps when trying to investigate this type of stuff.
No, it's just I get like I'm not looking for someone. I'm not looking to date or whatever, but it's just like I don't even like and I get talking to, a therapist. I actually, with my last relationship, I have talked to a therapist, and I feel like, I don't know, maybe I need an in-person set because that was during COVID, and it just didn't give the same over the computer. Like, I don't know.
And I just feel like you're a little stubborn. That's what I also feel like. I feel like you're stubborn, if I'm being honest.
And I
That's
can,
what it is.
I can be a little bit, but I guess because I get what you're saying, and it's not like I'm like looking for a man. Like that's not the issue, or that's not the case at all. Like I'm very content to where I'm at, but I'm just, again, I'm kind of scarred and kind of scared to even like want to take anyone seriously when I'm ready. And I guess I'm just looking for like advice, like what to like look. I know, take your time, and then look at their actions, but it's just like.
But the thing is, Ashley, I don't think there's time to focus on a man. All this energy about focus on man, what's a vet for a man. Right now, that's not to be the focus. The focus needs to be you and your children. That's what needs to be the focus right now.
And that is
You
the
and your
focus.
children. How can I have a better life for me and my children? That's it. No men on Hinge, not on TikTok, how to find a man, how to sit at the bar for a man. No, you and your
I don't do that.
children.
I don't even go out.
That should be the focus. Okay.
I mean, like I said, that is the focus. But like I feel like when I'm ready to date, like if it's a year, 2 years from now, like, I guess, I don't know. I guess it is what it is. Like I said, I'm not looking for nothing right now, but it's just like I don't want to be looking like everybody who a liar, like when it's ready to date, because it's still like I can wait, take my time, focus on my kids. But then when it's a year now, I'm still in the mentality, I guess.
That's why we said therapy as well. So you can help change your mindset. Change whatever is like the root of you having these patterns or attracting these men. So a therapist, they have, special tools. They know things. They can pick up on things, and they can walk you through that.
That is true.
But if when you're ready and that's something you really want to consider, I say go to therapy. That's what I would do. Go to therapy, focus on you, and focus on your children. That should have your undivided attention. You and your kids, nothing else.
Okay. So I have another question. So I get that I'm not, looking for anything new. So like I said, like he's still like lurking. So I'm to the point where I'm about to change my number. I'm about to get a new phone anyways, but I'm about to change my number. He's blocked on everything, but he still have my address, and he tends to pop up when he want to pop up and like knock on the door. I get like we have a child now, whatever, and he likes to throw that, in or over my head, but don't do barely little to none for him. It's just like, is calling the police on him too much? Or I don't like drama. And it's just, I feel like.
Ma'am, if you don't like drama, you have to make better choices with your box. Like, I mean, it's just, I don't know how else to say it. It all goes back to everything Ashley's been trying to tell you the whole time. You need to, if you don't like drama, I can't tell. Look at how you pick guys.
I'm always in the mix of drama, but I'm very like, I don't like conflict. Like I said, my last relationship, I went through some shit that I never experienced before. And it kind of like, I tend to like, I'm the type of person, like if it gets, like I know when it's time for me to exit. So I know when to like leave and like, no contact. Like I'm.
So are you guys done? Is it only about the kids, or are you guys still intimate? Or have you guys cut that part off? He just comes to see the kid. Okay, you don't have, okay. All right. So,
I mean, I'm done. I'm like I said before, like he pops up, like, and it's just the point to the.
okay. All right. So,
I mean, I'm done.
Done. Is it only about the kids, or are you guys still intimate? Or have you guys cut that part off? He just comes to see the kid. Okay. You don't have, okay. All right.
Wow.
Shame in yourself. Ain't nobody shame.
Wow. So he's still hitting it. Look at you little nasty. Yeah, like you like, I don't know what to do. He's still lurking. Like, shame on you, lady. Shame on you to try to be like, Ashley, like, You won't believe this nigga. Like, he's still lurking around here trying to get this good stuff. Ashley's like, do you still give him the good stuff? Well, yeah. Ma'am, you're really acting like you were born today. We shouldn't even be here. You just don't think.
I mean, I'm done. I'm like I said before, like he pops up, like, and it's just the point to the, I'm very confrontational. Like, I don't like conflict. So when he knocks on the door, I live in the house. Like, I have neighbors, you know?
She's like, well, like when he pulls up, I'm a non-confrontational person, so I just let him come in and hit it, Ashley. Like, instead of me telling him to leave and I'm gonna call the police, I just give it up to him. Right, because that's how women work. Usually women, even the trashiest ones, when they don't want to sleep with somebody, they're really done with them, they won't do it. They call the police first. Lady, you slept with him because you wanted to. And because maybe you thought that would bring you guys close. Maybe that would be the time where he would be like, oh man, because of that time right there, this is really where I'm supposed to be at. He good. Why would he do anything for you? He don't got to take care of the baby. He still get to hit it. You're disgracing the existence of your child every time you let him hit, and he don't even want to deal with the baby. You don't care.
So when I'm blocking you, you're calling my phone. I'm not answering, and you pull up to my house and you're banging on the door. Like, do I not open the door? The last time we was like intimate was, I want to say 3 months ago. Like, I blocked him. I haven't talked to him. He have not even tried to reach out.
From that smile you just gave, I don't know if it was 3 months ago. Because when I asked you that,
3 months ago.
Stop lying.
It was literally, that's why I smiled, because it was 3 months ago. And to me, that's not like a long, but I've been dealing with this ever since my son was born. Like, this is the behavior. I will block him. Like I said, I found out he was in a relationship. You know, I blocked him, didn't speak for 3 months. And that's the, so that's why I feel like I'm not, like, that's the thing.
They're saying that you should maybe get a restraining order or call the cops.
But
that's what they're saying. Okay. That's what they're saying. Get a restraining order or...
Right. What are you going to say? It's like, I don't want to cause problems. He's causing problems in your life. I hate when you women do this. You act like you want a guy out of your life who you don't, so that you don't look as dumb for dealing with him. So you act like a part of you really wants him out, but everything you do contradicts the fact. Any woman who's dealing with a guy and it's a problem guy, if she doesn't get a restraining order on the guy, she still wants to crack. She still is like leaving some crack of hope open that one day it'll become something legitimate one day. Once people start harassing you and vandalizing where you live and annoying you, at that point, you don't owe them any consideration. Again, you're trying to care for him, and he doesn't want to be cared for by you. You're trying to care for him, and he does not want to be cared for by you.
Call the cops. And it sounds like if you're still involved with him, and just 3 months ago, if it was 3 months, after you told us this long story about how he lied and he lied and he lied, that also tells me that in a way, did it matter?
It didn't matter, because I would have never built a connection with him. It would have never got to that level, like where my feelings was involved.
But we're still intimate, Ash. You're still intimate with him. That was
She's like, but I was intimate based off of a lie. Like it was the lie. Like
months ago. Again, because like you said, they tell you what you want to hear. Look at their actions. So, like I said, of course, like I said, I started off with I'm an emotional person. So we get in our feelings, and then I think about my child, and it's like, I don't want to have, and like I said, he dangles that around my head. Like, my son is like 1.5, So it's just like, when you get sold a dream so many times, you tend to wake up on your own. So like I said, I will block him, but I noticed my own pattern. After 3 months, I guess that's enough time he can't be away from me. So he pulling up. So it's just like, I was thinking about calling the police, but it's just like,
Now, I want you all to understand something, and I want you to understand it clear. Anytime a guy is behaving like this, the woman set up the conditions for him to think that he has this kind of control. Guys just don't start randomly acting like this towards women who they know have men who protect them or men who look after them. They do it by women who are so broken and lost that they give him that power in so many other ways. He makes her feel like it's okay for him to have control in her life that probably isn't even healthy. A lot of people are referencing the stimulation aspect of the conversation. You're accurate. She's here because he can please her in bed.
We got a child, and it's just like, I don't want him to be like, where is my, I don't know. Maybe I'm overthinking it, but
what the hell you mean?
So he come again, call the police.
Yeah, call the police or get a restraining order. That's up to you. When you're ready, I think you know what to do. But right now, it still feels like you're working through that. But again, myself in the chat here is just saying you should focus on yourself. You should go to therapy. Those are the positive things being said. Go to therapy, focus on yourself, and focus on your children.
Gotcha.
All right, that's what I think. And you seem pretty young. How old are you?
I'm 28.
Okay, 28. All right. So
yeah, you see how her tone said when she said 28, because you're young in life. You're not young for marriage anymore. So she's ready to pull that back. She's like, well, you actually do need to grow up. That, like, her body language, Ashley's body language was very much like, well, okay, you're not as young as I thought you were, but you're young. But she knows in 2 years you'll be 30. Then you're having to deal with I'm in my 30s and I'm still single options. And the dating market looks different for that demographic of woman. I just don't think these are things that women think through, but they should. It's very important. You guys have only a little bit of time to get these things right. Where men, we have up until our 40s to figure this stuff out. We can live and die 3 or 4 times and then pick up at when we're 40 and then start all over and win. You won't be presented that many options and that many opportunities to be successful in dating. Keep that in mind as you try to, as the years go on, you're trying to mirror men in your decision making in regards to dating. Keep that in mind.
You still have time. You still have your life ahead of you. So I think you should just use the next 6 months to really have some sort of routine and to really focus on yourself. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
You might be right, Dabu.
Okay.
Dabu.
All right, darling. I wish you all the best.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right.
What? Nobody care about your passion fruit, Ashley, but shout out to her. I think she did a good job trying to hold the woman accountable. I think all of us Black influencers, it sucks to see the mothers in our community look as lost as they look. If this call doesn't put into perspective that you Black men need to protect your seed, I don't know what else to tell you. For all the women out there, if this call doesn't put into perspective that it's up to you to ensure that you don't have a baby by the wrong man. You guys are always like, well, you dudes need to stop shooting up the club. That's not it, sweetheart. That's not it. I know that sounds good around a bunch of other losers who will go, but that's not it. A lot of you women, you're having babies by men who never even gave you the slightest inkling in that they wanted to carry the baby to term, and you still had the baby. And then you want people to save you. You're like, where's my free money, government, and my crib and all this? Where's my free money? Where's my free everything? Much love to Daniel G. Dollar Crew coming through, throwing bows at the end of the show. Let's get it. Show's already sponsored. We'll be here tomorrow reacting to Arlette's Balloon Pop show. It just reacted a few minutes ago. Don't even know who the feature presentation is yet, but we're going to react to the entire show. But yeah, I don't know. I'm really shocked that black women aren't harder on other black women for this type of stuff. Like, you guys just watch other women destroy the community, have babies by men in the wrong manner. You guys all say, no, we all perfect. I don't want to date you if you ain't cool with your mama. Yada, yada. Y'all are just all in this little clique where nothing you guys do is wrong. When you all are having so many babies in illegitimate circumstances, and then just because you have some sort of excuse, regardless of if it's good or not, you have some excuse for why you got there, so you think it's okay. I'm here to tell you it's not okay. This lady's very reckless. And the worst part about it is she couldn't even be honest. She felt like it was wiser to just dance. When the truth is you slept with a guy within 2 days of meeting him. And you didn't have to make that choice. You said you felt like he was being honest with you. Well, you found out he actually was not being honest with you. And again, ladies, when I say that you should look at the dating market as it is and not as it should be, look at it as it is and not what you expect it to be. It's only going to be then that you'll start to find yourself finding all the answers and little puzzle pieces to why you keep ending up with guys like Tyrone or Turquoise or these guys who we know historically aren't fathers. They don't do anything. They're criminals. They're dangerous men in and out of the system. These are not the fathers in the system. These are not the fathers in the community. I don't be feeling bad for women waiting on dudes to come out of jail to be with them. I don't feel sorry for you. Whatever happens to you and your kids, you did that to yourself. I just don't see how you women even have any room to talk. You're camping outside of prisons for men. Talking about where the fathers at. There are no fathers in the black community, and y'all are on TikTok and on Facebook proudly waiting for men outside of prisons. Nobody has to take you women serious. You women who will find out after a baby's born that a guy has other children, that doesn't say anything about the guy. That says everything about your inability to vet men and to get to know a person properly. And it also speaks to how horny you are.
Shaming yourself. Ain't nobody shame.
It speaks to how you can't control your body. You can't control your impulses. Once you feel like you got to hit, you got to hit. I saw this happening in my younger days. I was dealing with a girl one time, and I could tell because she just wanted to crack me. I didn't crack her. I was just like, she just wanted to crack me too bad. And I could tell when she went home, the next day she had an attitude with me like, I don't like. It's just, a lot of women just don't understand that if you sleep with a guy in a certain time period, depending on the circumstance, you've sold so much of your integrity to the guy already. Unless that guy just happens, you caught that guy in a good time and he wants to build and he's looking for somebody to build and you just so happen you had that good chemistry, you can find a way for him to not want to let go of you after that. It's impressive, depending on the circumstances. Especially if you didn't know the person prior from like anything else. You just met on the street. That's risky for guys. Guys know that when we crack a girl first day, raw dog, we kind of did something we shouldn't have done. Men know that too. But one thing that men are definitely fully have come to terms with, what this lady has not come to terms with, is that numbers lie. I mean, numbers don't lie. Men lie, women lie, numbers don't. That's just it. So, I don't know. I enjoyed the show. I enjoyed bringing the show to you guys. Shouts out to everybody who was down there. Shouts out to all of our sponsor, everybody who's Reed Merweather coming through, sponsoring the show. Took a lot of pressure off right there in the beginning to just go ahead and make sure that we can come back here tomorrow, because I'm really looking forward to see what's going on over at our Let Show or whatever news breaks. And we've been doing pretty good. I want to say I appreciate everybody who's been supporting, everybody who's been steady. Shout out to my moderator, RM. She's the best in the business. Much love to Jacob. Yeah, for like back up, like you can't be more horned than me. That you're right, Jacob. Like you can't want it more than me because that's my part. That's my job. It's my job to be trying to figure out how I'm gonna get it. It's my job to figure out like how to get in there and whatever. But once I feel like you looking at me like, is this nigga finna keep watching movies with me? Like, when is he gone? I'm like, oh man, I done found me a good old trollop. A good old. Yeah, it's not good to women who are like putting out in the first week deserve whatever you get. And I just hope you women who are out here one night standing, hitting a guy within the first week, you get pregnant, you're a horrible person to expect fatherhood from that man. He doesn't even barely know you. Yeah, I'm about to get real. You're a horrible person for meeting somebody week 1. You need to just take care of that baby, man. You can hit him up at best and be like, let him know and be like, hey, if you want to be a part of the child's life, you can. If not, I'm just going to take this L. I know you didn't really want this kid. But for you guys to like have a child with somebody who you barely know, who you barely took the time to get to know, and then think you can go to like a court system and be like, you guys need to find him and make sure that he pays for this kid. You guys are gross, disgusting, thieving, nasty, loose, gross, dirty butt, ratchet, disgusting women. Nobody does. You don't deserve anything. You hardly deserve the love of your own family. You're a foul human. You're nasty. And shame on the system for giving you that incentive, for making it that easy. Because now women can just go out into society, box first. Like women can like lean into guys with their box and just give it up. Because worst case scenario, the government's going to give you free food and a free place to stay and all type of stuff, free amenities, benefits. So, I don't know, man. Hope you guys enjoyed the content. Hit the subscribe button if you're new to the platform. Also, the notification bell. That's an important one. We always talk about the notification bell a lot, and most of us aren't even getting notifications. I don't even know why. You know how it is. I'm not sure if we're shadow banned. I'm not sure what it is. They might consider us a type of content that they consider borderline, which I don't know what that means. It's like if I'm borderline, not what you're supposed to be, why don't you just kick me out? It's like borderline is like, that's this little policy that they added to where they can just like toy with you justifiably and be like, yeah, we kind of were suspicious of you, so we get to hold you up. I mean, you're still a part of the program, but since we're suspicious of you, you're like on a different kind of system. It's like, oh, okay, I get it. Is it the one where you don't grow? You never get any subscribers or views? Oh, okay. But anywho, you never know. You just can never know. Corruption. The system don't like us. It is what it is. I'm glad to even be a part of the program. They don't even want us in it. I can tell. When they let us back, they didn't even sound like they weren't even that happy. They were like, come on, nigga. They were like, come on. You ain't breaking no rule. Come on. I was like, all right. Somebody says, sisterhood reporting men's content. And it's nuts. You know, when you think about this, I want to talk about this for just a second. Damn, I was finna leave like 4 times. But there are so many content creators I feel bad for. Like Obsidian Ali. I can't believe he wasn't bothering nobody sitting there with his 20,000 subscribers that he couldn't grow from. This one I was realizing that they were jamming content creators up. Because, Obsidian was getting shout out by Kevin Samuels, O'Shea Duke Jackson. I'm talking about with almost on like a daily or weekly basis. Man, that man stayed resting right at 20K subscribers. I was like, man, no growth. Even with Mr. Samuels nearing 1 million subscribers, shouted him out every day. I was like, man, that's fascinating. How did that work? Anybody who understands YouTube, hell, understands O'Shea Duke Jackson should have 5 million subscribers. And everybody knows it. Everybody knows it. Everybody knows it. I'm not even the biggest fan of O'Shea Duke Jackson, but I understand YouTube. I'm like, man, that man should have 5 million subscribers. Like, he should have 5 million subscribers. There's no reason why he shouldn't have 5 million subscribers. He's been so consistent for so long, and I'm talking about quality. He's posting at a frequency that it's like, I don't even know it was humanly possible. I don't know. I think he's got like, what, 7,000 videos or something? I'm like, how do you post 7,000 videos over that course of amount of time? It's like, man. And somebody says Tommy Sotomayor. Yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of Tommy. He should still be here. So it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate that O'Shea does have a team around him. I understand, but he built the team. He's still responsible for the team. And I'm going to build a team soon. That's the smartest way to do this work. You're supposed to outsource some of it. I hate making all my thumbnails, editing all my videos. When I don't hate it, I enjoy it because over time I had to get good at it. So now I enjoy creating them, but it's daunting work. Some people are like, oh man, you just sitting at a desk. It's like, y'all really don't think this is work. Some people think that there's no physical drawback from coming here every day and sitting down and doing this and having these conversations. It's weird when like 500 people show up in the chat, your body can't tell the difference. It's almost like if you were in a room of 500 people. The body knows what pressure you're under. And you do that night in and night out or whatever, it accumulates. Somebody says Dima is the editing king. Yeah, Dima does great editing. Like there's a lot of components that come in to make a person successful. He grabbed Dima, which was a good editor. And again, I mean, the rest is history. The rest is history. You have to just keep your head up, man, in this YouTube game. Nothing is fair. You have to work hard for what you want in this YouTube game. I don't try to complain about the system too much. It is what it is. I found myself where I found myself. I am still such a fortunate content creator. I am such a fortunate content creator. Within the first 2 years of us being a content creator, we found 22 million people. 22 million people within 2 years of doing this. And then when they figured out that we were blowing up, yeah, the system kind of turned on us a little bit, but again, we saw a lot of fortune even after our first kind of jam up with the algorithm. We still saw more fortune because we kept being consistent. We kept showing up. We kept doing shows. We kept staying on the path regardless, which was very difficult. The moment that the money started to jam up, I was like, coming and sitting down here became even more a trial just to come and get this work done. And then to be able to do work during the demonetization periods just to keep the channel worth anything was really daunting. So again, it can be a cold game. I have maybe 4 or 5 people a day complaining to me about them either not getting a notification or they come back to the channel. They're like, oh man, I'm unsubscribed from the channel. It's like, I don't know what happened. I'm unsubscribed. And I don't know. YouTube will probably tell me, well, the system just does that to clear bots or whatever the case may be. And I'll be like, I don't know. I don't know. But yeah. All right. I'm genuinely going to end the show this time. Thank you guys for supporting. We've gone 2 hours. We've actually started to make that the new norm. Hope you guys appreciate that. The new 2-hour platform. Just, dedicate, just to show you guys that like the more you guys support, the more I'm going to try to bring more value, not just wardrobe changes, but just more content in general, being able to go longer outro dialogues where I just can rap and talk to you guys. So again, I'll see you guys tomorrow. I'm getting ready to see what Arlette's got going on, and then we'll be coming back to react to her tomorrow. So be here around like 2. Hit the like button on your way in, and that's how we're going to do that. Y'all be good. Much love to our sponsor, Reed Merweather, and everybody else who supported the show. I'll see you guys on the next one. Until next time.